Fox News. Breaking news.
So here's something you don't see every day, folks. Barack Obama's own Homeland Security Secretary is now publicly calling out congressional Democrats, demanding that they stop their political games and fund DHS immediately. And that's right, the man who ran Homeland Security under Obama himself is saying Democrats are putting America at risk during what he calls a heightened threat environment. Meanwhile, TSA workers are getting $0 paychecks, security lines are stretching out the door at airports across the whole country, and Democrats are still holding our national security hostage. You might be asking yourself why? Because they refuse to fund the agency that protects American families. So let me tell you exactly what this means for you and your family. If you're still traveling for spring break, get ready for chaos, folks. Security lines at Austin Bergstrom International Airport are literally stretching out of the door. 300 TSA workers have already quit, and 50,000 more are about to miss their paychecks. We've got Denver Airport is asking travelers to donate food and gas cards just so these workers can survive. And think about that. The people keeping you safe at the airport are relying on food pantries because Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats refuse to do their jobs. But it gets worse. We've had 4 terror attacks in the last couple weeks alone, 2 in a single day, and Obama's former DHS secretary is warning that we're in a heightened threat environment, likely because of what's happening in the Middle East with Iran. And what are Democrats also doing? They're playing political games with the very department created after 9/11 to prevent another attack on American soil. And Senator Ron Johnson just exposed the economic damage too. GDP was down in the fourth quarter specifically because of Schumer's shutdown. And Democrats aren't just hurting TSA workers, they're hurting every single American. And while Democrats are leaving our frontline workers struggling, I want to tell you about something that's been a game changer for my own family's health. For years, my wife battled chronic pain and anxiety from her diagnosis. We went through endless doctor visits, treatments that didn't even do anything. They didn't help. And watching her struggle daily broke my heart. Then Jonathan Otto introduced us to red light therapy, and everything's changed. Her pain vanished, her anxiety has been lifted, and she's sleeping soundly now. She's full of energy and life again, thank God, right? And my own recovery and vitality, better than guys half my age. And this has been truly life-changing for our family. And here's the thing, this isn't some gimmick. It's backed by NASA's research and FDA cleared. And studies show rapid pain relief and real results. When the system designed to keep you dependent, taking control of your own health is just an act of freedom. Red light therapy gives us that freedom, and it might do the same for you. Now let me show you just how desperate Democrats are getting as their shutdown strategy completely backfires. So here's where it gets even more ridiculous. Adam Schiff, the same guy who spent years lying about Russian collusion, is now on camera blaming Republicans for the shutdown. But here's the truth that he doesn't want you to know. Schiff himself has voted multiple times to keep the DHS shut down. He wants us unsafe. He knows ICE is already funded. He knows the House passed a clean bill. Yet here he is lying straight to the camera. And Democrats are accusing Republicans of not caring about TSA workers while they refuse to literally pay the same workers for doing their jobs. Let me show you exactly what they're saying. Let's get into it, guys. So we got from RNC Research. It says Democrat Senator Adam Schiff, who has voted to keep DHS shut down multiple times, lies and blames the Republicans. Do we expect any less from these guys? Let's see.
Let's fund TSA while we work on everything else. And they said no, not without funding ICE and Border Patrol. They're not willing to fund TSA. I think it's unsustainable. They're losing this argument.
These are the same people that for years, every time that the government was shut down or anybody else, they would scream and yell about safety and security. They literally want you to feel unsafe so you would not like Trump, therefore turn out better for the Democrats in the midterms. And they're willing to sacrifice your family's freedom for this. And we have Schiff's blame game isn't fooling anybody. And the Democrat shutdown games are risking airport security, along with national security. Even the Coast Guard shut down right now, which is crazy. So let's see what we had from Nick Sorter saying. He says, wow, even Obama's DHS secretary is calling on Democrats to cut their BS and fund DHS now. It's pretty bad when Obama's own people are coming out saying that. We know how bad the Dems are doing. Let's see.
4 terror attacks in the last couple of weeks alone, 2 just yesterday.
Yep.
We were talking about this earlier. Does it feel to you that like something has changed in these last couple of weeks? Like you can feel it. What is it?
It does. I believe we are in a heightened threat environment. Most likely because of events in the Middle East. Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism. We can decapitate the leadership there, but that does not decapitate the ability to be a state sponsor of terrorists. It does not decapitate the ability to inspire acts of terrorism, including acts of terrorism here in the homeland. And so Bottom line to all of this, we need to fund, Congress needs to fund the department that exists to ensure Homeland Security.
But how do you think about cybersecurity issues?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? We have a whole Department of Homeland Security, but because they're deporting the illegals that the Democrats need in order to boost their congressional numbers, they want the department shut down, meaning that Americans are at risk every single day. And that's okay for Democrats to do this because they don't want us to be safe. They want us unsafe. They want us scared. They want the illegals to stay in because this is the hill that they have to die on. So with an urgent call for unity from Obama's own DHS leader, the spotlight turns to the Senate Democrats. Congressman Chip Roy reveals how just a few Democrats can end the security crisis by backing the House's clean funding bill. From Chip Roy, he says the House passed a clean DHS funding bill. It's sitting in the Senate waiting for action. Will they actually do anything, though? Let's see.
We're looking at, DHS funding and beyond. What are Americans to do with this information?
Right. Well, first of all, you should be putting pressure on Democrat representatives and the House and the Senate. I mean, obviously, we passed it out of the House to move the appropriations bill that we've already put forward. This is making us weaker with respect to TSA and our airlines, the Coast Guard, which is critically important, FEMA. And by the way, we're using the money we put in the big, beautiful bill that's sitting there for Border Patrol and for ICE, but it undermines our Homeland Security if we don't have full funding. So, of course, they should do that. We should unite as a country.
I mean, again, that's what the Democrats want to say. They're blocking DHS so we don't deport any illegal immigrants. But in the big, beautiful bill that just passed, ICE is funded through 2029. They can't cut the funding for it. It's already been apportioned for the next 4 years. So all they're doing right now is cutting TSA because they know it's going to catch headlines. We're reporting on wait lines at airports right now because the Democrats shut down the DHS, which stopped the funding for the TSA people, which makes long lines and makes it newsworthy. You guys are about to go on spring break. Of course, bad Trump, right? That's so the framing from the Democrats is insane. So while Chip Roy underscores the Senate impasse threatening our national security, the situation is becoming dire on the ground. The DHS warns of chaos at Austin airports as travel nightmares unfold thanks to Democrat stall tactics. This is all because of them. They want you to suffer so they can get political points. And we've got Homeland Security saying, thanks to our Democrat reckless shutdown, security lines at Austin Bergstrom International Airport are stretching out the door. They were into the parking lot. Let's see.
A lot of people are going to know they're going to leave because if they don't leave, then wherever they're going, that flight's late, the next flight's late, they can't afford that.
It's insane.
They already paid for the tickets, so they're leaving without us. They're not ready for anybody.
And what if it starts raining? What if it's snowing outside? What if there's inclement weather? The Democrats don't care how much you have to suffer in order for them to keep their power. And that's the whole moral of this story. They're willing to do all of these things so you feel unsafe. You won't see a Republican doing that. So we have crazy wait lines at the airport from Tom Miller. He's got another video for us. Let's check.
A lot of people are going to know they're going to leave. Because if they don't leave, then wherever they're going, that flight's late, the next flight's late, they can't afford that. They already paid for the tickets, so they're leaving without us.
Yeah, again, that's how bad it's pretty pathetic for the Democrats to do this. And this is just waiting. This is just people waiting in a line. But I can't believe the Democrats would even want to do this to American citizens, to score political points. This is their whole MO, what they want to do. It's absolutely just disgusting. So we have another one from Department of Homeland Security. It says if they're feeling the pain from the reckless shutdown in airports across the country, TSA officers are being forced by the Democrats to work without pay for the third time in 6 months. No wonder why they're quitting. Let's see.
Millions of spring break travelers are on the move, hacking airports, all while funding for the Department of Homeland Security is halted, and 60,000 TSA workers are receiving their first $0 paycheck.
I have 3 kids, a wife who depend on me to go to work, and they depend on me to feed them, to take care of them.
It's a growing crisis. Denver Airport now asking travelers to donate food and gas cards. Food pantries opening up from JFK to Seattle.
I do plan on coming to work as long as I can. If I can't come to work, then I can guarantee there's a lot of other people that are not going to be able to make it.
Since the shutdown, more than 300 TSA workers have quit, and call-outs have more than doubled. This after chaotic scenes and long lines like these in Houston, New Orleans, and Atlanta. And this morning, the TSA exclusively sharing this video with GMA, now being played in airports nationwide, warning passengers about longer than average wait times and staffing shortages due to the shutdown. This comes as the TSA acting deputy administrator tells us they've seen a rise in attacks on officers.
We've seen increases in assaults on our TSA officers, which is always completely unacceptable. And so we just ask our passengers to please be respectful, thank them, because they're doing an incredibly difficult job under incredibly difficult circumstances.
Despite the shutdown, airlines trying to keep up with demand are adding flights. United Airlines expects this to be the busiest spring break season ever.
Some guidance for those traveling in the coming weeks. To save time, avoid checking a bag. Do your best to carry on. Arrive early, 3 hours before a domestic flight, 4 hours for international travel, and always look out for the latest updates from your airline and airport. Guys?
Yep, as they always say, pack your patience. All right, Victor, thank you.
I mean, I was going to go visit my twin sister in Colorado next week, and I'm not even going to, I have to drive from Chicago out there because I know it's going to be 8 hours at O'Hare International Airport just to fly. But the Democrats' refusal to fund DHS is not just inconveniencing travelers, but also taking a toll on our economy. We have Senator Ron Johnson exposes the economic sabotage caused by Schumer's shutdown, hurting GDP and frustrating progress. And I think Ron Johnson's about to go nuclear. Let's check it out.
America. GDP was down in the fourth quarter. Why?
Whoop.
America. GDP was down in the fourth quarter. Why? Because of Schumer's shutdown. So not only are they not helping us clean up the mess, they're doing everything they can to frustrate our efforts, to interfere with President Trump's efforts to clean up their messes. It's really despicable.
Yeah, great point. You're right. GDP was down from the expectation. It was supposed to be 1.5% growth. We got growth of 0.7%. Senator.
So 0.7%. It was supposed to be much higher than that. And the Democrats, they don't care if it hurts the country. Look what they did under Biden for 4 years. They let millions of people in. They destroyed our economy, decimated the military, and left us in a very weak position. You think that they're going to care over shutdowns? They don't care. They've never cared. From economic hits to the exploitation of TSA workers, this shutdown's true colors are showing. We got Brandon Straka highlights the continued fallout as more TSA employees quit while Democrats prioritize illegal aliens over American workers. They want the illegal aliens. They have to have this. This is the hill that they have to die on. The more illegals, more people counted in the census, more seats in Congress, easier for them to win president and Congress. That's just the way it works. From Brandon Straka, we have 300 TSA workers have reportedly quit after the Democrat shutdown of DHS, with 50,000 more expected to miss paychecks. That's embarrassing. Critics argue congressional Democrats are hurting America and TSA workers while pandering to illegal aliens. We know this to be true. Let's see what they have to say.
Partial shutdown now lasting almost a month, leading to a shortage of TSA workers at airports across the country. More than 300 have reportedly quit their jobs as of today. 50,000 TSA agents will miss their first full paycheck. Major airports now having to close security checkpoints, causing hours-long security lines and significant backups during the spring break travel season. It all comes as lawmakers remain locked in a stalemate over immigration enforcement.
All I say to my Republican colleagues, stop the speeches that you care about TSA. Don't talk the talk. Walk the walk. Let the legislation that we are proposing go forward without blocking it, and TSA will be back to work.
When our homeland is under attack, all warning lights are flashing red, and they want to peel apart, piece by piece, the Department of Homeland Security because they want to stand with illegal immigrant criminals.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. They don't care about the safety of our nation. They don't care about the safety of the people. They don't care about any of it. The only thing that they care about is having the power. And that's disgusting. I mean, think about that. Really, really, really think about that. They don't care if you're safe going to the airport. They don't care if your family's safe going to a place of worship, a synagogue, a church, a mosque, wherever you go to worship. They don't care about people coming in and knowing that the people are wanting to attack that. They don't care. They just want the power. So here's what the mainstream media won't tell you. The House under Republican leadership already passed a clean DHS funding bill. It's sitting in the Senate right now. It's ready to go. All it takes is a handful of Senate Democrats willing to put American security ahead of their own obsession with protecting illegal alien criminals. That's what this is really about, folks. Democrats don't want to fund DHS because DHS is executing President Trump's border security agenda. They're willing to let TSA workers go hungry, willing to let security lines stretch for hours, willing to ignore terror threats, all because they cannot accept that the American people voted for secure borders. Even Obama's people are calling them out. When you've lost your own team, guys, you've lost the argument. It's pretty clear on that one. So the truth is crystal clear, and Democrats own the shutdown. They own every missed paycheck, they own every hour-long security line, and they own every ounce of risk to our national security. And the solution exists, and the House already passed it. President Trump is ready to sign it, and said that Democrats just need to stop throwing a tantrum and do what their jobs. And I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Should Democrats be held accountable for putting their open border agenda ahead of American workers and national security? I'm saying yes, but I want to hear your thoughts, yes or no. And drop your answers below. And let's get this video out there. Share with everybody. And you know who's been affected by this reckless shutdown. Share it to your friends. If they are traveling, share it with them. And hey, if you guys want to support independent journalism that tells you the truth that the mainstream media won't, check out the Next News merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. For Next News Network, I'm Tom McCullough. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. Truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.